Why modern people are always depressed. There was a time when humans feared wild animals, starvation, and war. Survival was the greatest challenge of life. But today, millions of people wake up in comfortable homes, carry powerful smartphones in their pockets, and have access to endless entertainment, yet they still feel empty inside. Modern society has achieved technological miracles, but somehow, happiness seems to be disappearing. Depression, anxiety, loneliness, emotional exhaustion, these words have become part of everyday life. Across the world, especially in developed countries, more people than ever feel mentally drained. And the strange part is, many don't even know why. Because modern depression doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like scrolling endlessly at 2 a.m. Sometimes it looks like smiling in public while feeling numb inside. Sometimes it looks like having everything, but feeling nothing. This is the silent crisis of modern life. Every morning, millions of people wake up already tired. Not physically tired, mentally tired. Their minds are overloaded before the day even begins. Notifications, emails, news, social media, endless responsibilities, the brain never truly rests anymore. Human beings were never designed to process this much information. Thousands of years ago, the human brain evolved for survival in small tribes. People focused on real dangers, real human interaction, and simple goals. But today, the modern brain is trapped in a digital storm. The average person now consumes more information in one day than people centuries ago consumed in months. Every second, our attention is attacked by advertisements, headlines, videos, trends, opinions, and algorithms designed to keep us addicted. And slowly, without realizing it, people lose the ability to feel calm. Silence feels uncomfortable, stillness feels strange, the brain becomes addicted to stimulation. That's why many people can't even sit alone without checking their phones. The moment silence appears, anxiety enters. The mind begins searching for distraction because distraction has become a form of emotional escape. But the more distracted people become, the more disconnected they feel from themselves. Social media made this even worse. At first, platforms promised connection. They promised a world where everyone could share experiences and stay close together. But instead of connection, many people found comparison. Every scroll became a reminder that someone else looks better, earns more, travels more, or lives a happier life. People no longer compare themselves to neighbors or classmates. Now they compare themselves to millions of carefully edited lives online. And the human brain cannot handle constant comparison without consequences. Because social media does not show reality. It shows highlights, perfect vacations, perfect bodies, perfect relationships, perfect lifestyles. But behind many of those screens are people who are struggling too. The problem is that modern society rewards appearances more than authenticity. People feel pressured to look successful instead of actually feeling fulfilled. Many are emotionally exhausted from pretending. Pretending to be okay, pretending to be confident, pretending to enjoy life while secretly feeling lost. And over time, that emotional mask becomes heavy. One of the darkest truths about modern life is that people are more connected digitally than ever before, yet more isolated emotionally than any generation in history. Loneliness has become an epidemic. In the past, families spent time together naturally. Communities were stronger. Friendships were built through real experiences. Human interaction was part of daily survival. But modern life changed everything. Now many people spend hours alone staring at screens. Conversations became shorter. Attention spans became weaker. Real relationships became harder to maintain. Even when people gather together, many are mentally somewhere else, checking phones, scrolling feeds, chasing dopamine. Technology gave humans instant communication, but slowly removed genuine presence. And without deep human connection, the mind suffers. Humans are social creatures. The brain needs emotional bonding the same way the body needs food and water. Without meaningful relationships, people begin to feel invisible. That invisibility creates emotional emptiness. Another reason modern people feel depressed is because life has become extremely repetitive. Wake up, work, eat, scroll, sleep, repeat. Many people spend decades following routines that feel meaningless to them. They work jobs they hate just to survive financially. They sacrifice mental peace for productivity because society teaches that success matters more than well-being. Modern culture glorifies hustle. Being busy became a status symbol. Rest became guilt. People feel pressured to constantly achieve more, earn more, and prove more. But humans are not machines. The mind eventually breaks under constant pressure. Burnout is now so common that many people believe exhaustion is normal. But it isn't normal. It's the result of living in a system that often values productivity more than humanity. And the worst part is that many people no longer know who they truly are outside of work, social media, or expectations. Modern identity is fragile. People build their self-worth around followers, careers, appearance, or public approval. But those things constantly change. And when identity depends on unstable things, emotional collapse becomes inevitable. This is why criticism hurts more today. Rejection feels heavier. Failure feels personal. Because many people secretly feel they are not enough. Modern society constantly reminds people of what they lack instead of appreciating what they already have. More money, more beauty, more success, more attention, more status. The chase never ends. And endless chasing creates endless dissatisfaction. Advertising industries understand human insecurity better than most people understand themselves. Entire billion-dollar systems are built around making people feel incomplete. Because insecure people buy more. They consume more. They seek validation more. And the cycle continues. Another hidden reason for depression is the disappearance of purpose. For most of human history, survival itself created meaning. People felt needed by their families, communities, or societies. But modern life often feels emotionally disconnected from purpose. Many people wake up without knowing why they are doing what they do. They feel trapped in routines without direction. And when life loses meaning, even small struggles begin to feel unbearable. Psychologists have long understood that humans can endure pain if they believe their suffering has purpose. But modern society often replaces meaning with entertainment. Instead of confronting emotional emptiness, people distract themselves endlessly. Streaming, gaming, scrolling, shopping, temporary pleasure becomes a substitute for real fulfillment. But pleasure and fulfillment are not the same thing. Pleasure is temporary, fulfillment is deeper, and the human soul eventually notices the difference. There is also another terrifying reality. Modern people rarely experience true peace. Even during rest, the mind keeps racing. Notifications interrupt silence. News spreads fear constantly. The internet exposes people to global tragedies every single day. Wars, economic collapse, crime, disasters, political chaos. The human nervous system was never designed to absorb non-stop negativity from all over the world. As a result, many people remain in a constant state of stress without realizing it. Their bodies survive, but their minds stay trapped in survival mode. This chronic stress slowly damages emotional health. Sleep becomes harder, anxiety increases, motivation disappears, hope fades, and eventually, people begin feeling emotionally numb. One of the most dangerous aspects of modern depression is that it often becomes invisible. A person can laugh with friends while secretly struggling. They can post happy photos while feeling broken inside. They can appear successful while battling loneliness every night. Modern society became extremely skilled at hiding pain. Especially among men, many grow up hearing phrases like, "Be strong," or, "Don't show weakness." As a result, they suppress emotions for years until emotional pressure explodes internally. But emotional suppression never truly removes pain. It only hides it temporarily. And eventually, hidden pain always finds a way out. Sometimes through anger, sometimes through addiction, sometimes through anxiety, and sometimes through complete emotional collapse. Young people today face another challenge no previous generation experienced at this scale: identity confusion. The internet constantly exposes them to different lifestyles, beliefs, expectations, and standards. Instead of discovering themselves naturally, many feel overwhelmed by endless comparison and pressure. Who should they become? What should success look like? What kind of life matters? The modern world provides infinite choices but very little clarity. And too many choices often create paralysis instead of freedom. Many people today are not physically starving. They are emotionally starving. Starving for meaning. Starving for connection. Starving for peace. Starving for purpose. Yet despite all this darkness, there is an important truth many people forget. Depression is not proof that humans are weak. In many ways, it is proof that modern life itself has become psychologically unnatural. Humans evolved in nature, surrounded by tribes, movement, sunlight, purpose, and real social bonds. But modern lifestyles increasingly isolate people from those things. People spend more time indoors, more time online, more time stressed, more time disconnected from reality. And the human brain quietly suffers because of it. But understanding the problem is the first step toward escaping it. The solution to modern depression may not come from technology alone. It may come from rediscovering what makes humans feel alive in the first place. Real conversations. Real friendships, real purpose, real experiences, nature, creativity, meaningful work, human connection, moments without screens, moments without comparison, moments where people can simply exist without performing for the world. Because deep down, most humans are not searching for perfection. They are searching for peace. And maybe the greatest tragedy of modern life is that society taught people how to impress others, but never taught them how to feel truly fulfilled themselves. So people continue chasing bigger houses, more followers, more money, more approval, hoping happiness waits at the finish line. But many eventually discover something terrifying. The finish line keeps moving. And perhaps that is why so many modern people feel depressed. Not because they failed, but because they spent their entire lives chasing things that were never designed to make them happy in the first place. The modern world promised comfort, convenience, and endless entertainment. And it delivered all of those things. But somewhere along the way, humanity lost something invisible. Stillness, meaning, connection. And maybe that is the real crisis of modern civilization. Not the collapse of technology, not the collapse of economies, but the slow collapse of the human mind. And unless people learn how to reconnect with themselves again, the loneliness of modern life may continue growing louder, even in a world more connected than ever before. Thanks for watching the Docuverse.